Hello everybody, welcome back to the Professor's Garage. Today is kind of a review, but I just want to talk about 2001 A Space Odyssey and my experience with it. I did not write a script for this, and so it might be a little bit ramblier than it could be, but that's just what I'm feeling today. I am going to take these off because the glare on my last video bothered me in the editing. So, I just finished watching 2001 A Space Odyssey for my first time ever 1 or 2 days ago. And it took me a week or two to watch it. I watched it in pieces, just here and there, when the mood struck. Going into watching it, it was, I think, a couple minutes into it that I realized I didn't really have any expectations for the movie, or I knew nothing of what the movie was about. I mean, I think I knew that spoiler warning, but it's a movie that's, I didn't look up when it came out, but it's over 30 years old? Pre-1990? Yeah, I think it's in the 80s. But I went into it and I realized I have no idea what this movie is about. What I knew about it was, I think the obelisk, or the monument or whatever, I think I remembered that was in it. I know that ThinkGeek had a 0 points of articulation action figure of it at one point. Maybe it was just one of their April Fool's products. But I do remember that toy, and it was pretty funny. But I don't think I remembered that the HAL 9000 was part of the movie. The main thing I knew was the song, the piece of music that everyone calls 2001 A Space Odyssey, which is like actually Zarathustra or something like that. I forgot to look it up. But it's the you know what it is. Cool, I am recorded. But that was pretty much all I knew about it, was the song. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because it's cinematic history. It's something that pretty much everyone has at least heard of, and so I decided to watch it. There was a lot of silence in that movie. I was surprised, but a couple times when I was watching the movie, I was doing a couple other things here and there. But I never felt like, I don't know, disengaged with the movie. It was always, at least, like, it wasn't like, okay, I'm not going to finish this movie, I don't want to watch it, I want a refund, or, walk out of the theater or anything like that. There is a movie that I really... Oh, I should talk about that movie eventually. Oh, that movie was horrible. It was the worst movie I've ever seen. If you want me to do a review on the worst movie I've ever seen, please leave a comment below. No, I will not rewatch it before I make a video about it. Going on, back to 2001 A Space Odyssey. It was a good movie. I might watch it later. I don't know, maybe in a couple years, maybe a couple months, who knows, but and the Space Fetus or Space Baby, I did watch something on Tested with Adam Savage that they mentioned that was on there. I had forgotten about it until most of the way through the movie, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then it's at the very, very end, but I was like, oh, okay. I did miss, like, the ending, when he's, like, I don't know, I guess aging or whatever. I kind of was doing something, I got distraction, and then all of a sudden there's the Space Baby. So I backed it up and rewatched it, and I was like, okay. But it was interesting. I was surprised that the HAL 9000 was the villain. And then, I don't know, I think it was when... it wasn't until he was reading their lips that I was like, oh wait, is he the villain? And then he started killing everyone, and I was like, okay, he's the villain. But I was surprised. I was like, wait, he's killing these astronauts. They're in the sleep pods. They are defenseless, and he is just turning them off, essentially. I was like, wait, what? But it was interesting. And then the very ending, Dave comes back, and there was that quote that I was kind of recognized. I forget it now, but there was when the Hal 9000 was talking to Dave. There's a quote that I had heard before, but all right. Sorry, my ADHD lost my everything for a second. But yeah, Dave gets back and he, totally outsmarts the HAL 9000, which was cool. He got in, was able to turn it off, and then continues on, and it doesn't make sense, but what I understood of it is, and it not making sense didn't detract from it at all for me. It was just like, it's a cinematic art piece in my opinion. But it was just interesting. He finds an obelisk floating in space, or a monument or whatever they call it, and then I guess his spaceship touches it, and then he's transported to this. I'd call it a room at the end of time, and there he is, and he just ages alone for a while, and he kind of notices the camera a couple times, which I interpreted it as he saw the different sections of his timeline. Like, he turns around and he sees his future, and then, the camera's there again. He looks at it, he sees his future again, because it's always, he's there, and then he looks at the camera, and then he's where the camera was, kind of thing. If you see it, you can understand. If you have not seen the movie, then you probably have no idea what in the world I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch the movie. There's, you've already heard a bunch of spoilers. But, and then an obelisk appears, and he becomes the space fetus thing. But, yeah, then he's the space fetus thing, and it was just, interesting. But that's what they'd gone all the way out to Jupiter to see, was, I guess, the monument, or because one had sent a signal, but there was one on Earth and one on the Moon and one in the orbit of Jupiter or something. But it's I'd say it's a thought-provoking movie. It's a thinker. But yeah, so the TLDR, Too Long Didn't Read. I think 2001: Space Odyssey was a very good movie. It was a lot quieter than I was expecting. It's an art piece. It's a thinking movie. It doesn't explain itself a lot. But it's a good movie, and I know it's had an impact on many people in many movies. And it is part of pop culture history, and if you have a chance to see it, go ahead and watch it. But that's the professor's review on 2001: A Space Odyssey. You folks have a fantastic day.